The courage to be a woman. I stood there in the mirror, watching my every move, just working to now get back in the groove of how I overcame the things some might say, girl, I don't know how you got through that day. But I looked in the mirror, and what did I see? A courageous woman looking back at me. She was raising her children with everything she had. She gave it her all, though some times were bad. She remembered the time when her children were small. Oh, she had her own needs, but she gave them her all. She sacrificed her time and her money for them, though sometimes her time and her money was slim. But they turned out real good. Thank God for his grace. And they turned out that way because she stayed on her face. Oh, I looked in the mirror, and again I did see a courageous woman looking back at me. She had struggled in a relationship she knew God didn't call. But baby, he was so fine, she wanted it all. She had just prayed a prayer, though she thought it was odd. When that first man showed up, she thought, this must be God. Because just before that, it was more than she could stand. And I once heard her say, I'll just do like God and I'll just make me a man. But he ain't been to church yet. But she'll never regret all the lessons she learned after she got burned. So she'll wait and see now what God will do. Because he's got a man for her. And he's got a man for you too. So she looked in the mirror. And what did I see? Little of that courageous woman looking back at me. If I just had more courage, like the lion got at Oz, I'd move and step out with the power of God. I'd never underestimate the value in myself, knowing that God gave me the power to get wealth. I'd know and give unused all the gifts that were in me reside, and never again put my feelings aside. I do all of the things I only dream of, knowing dreams do come true with the power from above. It takes courage to do all these things that I've done. So I looked in the mirror and I saw I was the one. I had courage to raise kids alone with no hate. I had courage to wait for God to send me a mate. I had courage to step out on faith with no fear, knowing the Father in heaven was near. So the next time you look in a mirror, here's what you'll do. Know, and really just know, that the woman with courage is really, really you. So I say this to you. And it's not just an omen. At the end of the day, it takes courage to be a woman.